going to tell us about Map Your Show.
Thank you and welcome everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Am I talking too loud? It's hard to tell. So are we good? All right, well, first of all, thank you for your time. My name is Jerry Gildea, as you mentioned. I'm with Map Your Show. We're a company that's about 18 years old now. We're pretty established in the States. We work with about 500 shows on an annual basis there. Lots of large association-based events, and as well as some large independent organizers like Informa, Clarion, DMG, some of the larger players in the market space. We're not quite as well known here in Europe, and that's kind of why we're in the Kickstarter tech demo area back there. So what I wanted to do is kind of give you a real high-level overview of our offering, but then kind of jump into how we see the attendee journey and how our platform can help your attendee journey. So again, I mentioned some of this stuff. In the States, we have a market share of about 55 of the top 100 events that use our platform, including shows like SEMA, CES, PAC Expo. Here in Europe, our two biggest events are IBC and IES, or ISE, I'm sorry, Integrated Systems Expo. So again, we have that experience with really large trade shows, but we also have experience with shows that manage 30 exhibitors. And if you just look at our platform sort of holistically here, one of our cornerstones is obviously mapping. We do maps well. We have a builder tool that allows an organizer to sort of maintain and manage a floor plan, assign exhibitors to it. It starts with a CAD file from your general service provider. We can also export a CAD file back out to keep that in sync when they need to ultimately set up the show. We also have what we call our My Show Planner, and this is what I'm going to get into in just a second to really kind of talk about the attendee journey, where that starts, what you can do to give that attendee the best possible experience once they get on site. That My Show Planner also extends into a mobile app, so whether you're using it online prior to the event or on site through the native mobile app, those platforms feed out of the exact same data set. And then our Exhibitor Resource Center essentially aggregates everything that an exhibitor needs to do to get ready for the event. It allows the organizer to create a checklist of items and keep them up to speed with, again, everything that they need to do. And lastly, what I'll mention is we also have a platform that allows you to manage the entire process of selling your booth and sponsorship space, from taking applications from exhibitors that you can either do on site to manage rebooking. It handles invoicing, ongoing payments. So that's kind of our platform in a nutshell. And as I mentioned, what I ultimately want to talk about here is this attendee journey. So think of this as if you will, as sort of the extension of your event's website. Let me make that just a little bit bigger. So this is one of our customers whose show's kicking off in the States here in January. So ultimately what we do is become an extension of their website to start that attendee journey. It's also used as a tool for prospective attendees that may or may not want to come to the event. But if I come here and I click on exhibitor lists and floor plans, this is our functionality. While it kind of mirrors the user experience from the website, this is our tool that allows that attendee to come in and see who's exhibiting, see who they want to meet with, favorite different aspects of content that's submitted by exhibitors, figure out what sessions and events they want to attend. We also have a sort of a recommendation engine built into this to introduce attendees to things that they might not know about. So at the end of the day, based on like user profiles, like searches within the platform, we can tell the attendee you might also be interested in this exhibitor, this exhibitor, this exhibitor, or this session to attend. Where I think this is a benefit, again, related to that user journey, and maybe one of the positive things that came out of COVID, is that attendees started interacting more online with technology. Right, so the more content you can get in front of them prior to attendance on site at the show, the better that experience is going to be for the attendee. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So let's just say as a keyword, I type in the word audio here. Oops, I'm sorry, let me go back to this one. This is a better example. This is kind of our demo site here. So if I type in the word audio here, what happens right now, based on that one keyword, is we're searching through everything that we have on file for that particular event. So it could be any information about exhibitors based on something they reference in their company description, a product category that they say they're associated with. Show features is advertising content. We'll get into that in just a second. Sessions and events. Again, just based on that one keyword, we're delivering back so much information that would be of interest to them so that they can start kind of planning their visit to the event. So I'm just going to click on the featured exhibitors here to show you what ultimately an exhibitor can upload, because at the end of the day, content is king for this experience. So when I come into this particular exhibitor's showroom page, I can see products on display that they're featuring with video presentations or images and text. I can see the reps on site here that I could interact with even prior to the show. Any special offers that they might have, I have the ability to book an appointment, interact with collateral. Maybe they have some press releases out there or product brochures that I can download. Their schedule of events, where their booth is, that ties into an interactive view on the map, so I can see where their booth is located, their company description. But you can see there's a lot of different content that we can collect from those exhibitors. Now, at the end of the day, this is also an opportunity to generate digital advertising revenue. If you're not tapping into this now with your events, I think you're missing an opportunity. For some of our larger shows in the States that I referenced earlier, they're generating hundreds of thousands of dollars in terms of digital ad revenue based on our platform. And the reason that works is that as that attendee goes through this experience, as they start favoriting elements of content from that particular exhibitor, when they register to use the platform, they're sharing their information or opting in to share. They don't have to. But at the end of the day, what that does is for anybody they favorite, they can become a lead to that exhibitor. So we're generating leads prior to that exhibitor taking one step on site at the physical event. So that's where the ROI comes from. And when I tell you our retention rate on these digital advertising opportunities is in the 70th percentile year over year, it just works. So not only are we delivering this incredible experience where this attendee can plan, we're providing valuable leads to those exhibitors prior to coming on site. But the third benefit for the organizer there is we have so much activity based on attendee interest at that point. So we know what keywords they're typing in. We know what product categories they're searching on. That is all data that's accessible to you to retarget other attendees or even exhibitors for that matter. And I'll tell a really quick story here. The large show, fashion show in the States called Magic. It's an odd name for a fashion show. But several years ago, they had a lot of attendees coming in and searching for the word shoes. They had no segment in the show related to shoes, and they thought, well, maybe that's a natural extension of what we're trying to do here. They, the following year, successfully launched a whole segment related to shoes as part of their fashion event. So again, it's just great data that you ultimately have access to. Kind of the last thing, and I know I'm running out of time here, the last thing that I wanted to touch on, and we talked about this earlier, is this exhibitor resource center that we have. This is what ultimately handles fulfillment for that digital advertising revenue piece, among other things. At the end of the day, this is the page that the organizer sets up to get their exhibitors to do whatever they want them to do. I mentioned we do manage the process of selling booth and sponsorship sales for many of our customers. When you do that and invoices go out, they're directed back to this page to pay any outstanding balance on their space, right? But that's kind of the main draw to get them in there. Once they're in there, there's a lot of other things that organizer wants them to do. When you look at the numbers here on the right related to views, leads, and clicks, that's all related to their digital showroom page through that attendee planner and the mobile app. So we're showing the exhibitor real, true visibility into the ROI that they're getting out of that purchase. But going back to that purchase, fulfillment happens here too. So that exhibitor can actually come to this portal page, pick the level of advertising package that they want, pay for it online, and then submit all the content right through a WYSIWYG editor that we have tied to this platform. So there's no hand-holding or support needed from the organizer's side. It's all just done and handled through Map Your Show at that point. I'm going to touch on one more thing kind of unrelated to that, but certainly that allows you to keep things in check for the exhibitor. We rolled this checklist out a while back. While this does take a little bit of time to set up, it becomes just an outstanding tool to keep your exhibitors on pace with the things that you need them to do, whether it's submitting a certificate of insurance or, again, paying an outstanding balance on booth space. So you set all of these items up, you create deadlines, the exhibitors can get reminders based on whatever item you set up in here. You can actually email through our platform out to these exhibitors based on one of those specific checklist items, again, just to handle and manage the process of getting that exhibitor ready. So I think we're close on time here. I'll turn it over for questions. If there aren't any questions, or if you just want to stop back to our tech kiosk behind us, that would be great as well.
Yep, so we're pretty much on time. Thank you, Jerry. If you've got any questions for Jerry, as you say, you can find him over there. And that is the end of the 4 rapid-fire tech demos. Thanks very much.
Thank you all.